I've been here since 2015, but we've always had connections to Oahu because our father was born here. He coached with Charlie on staff with the women. When we were younger, we moved here when I was about 5 and Gage was about 3 years old here. I was recruited by a few schools, but coming out of high school, there wasn't really many schools that would allow me to play the position I wanted. You know, Charlie and the coaching staff, Josh and Jeff Hall was a big part of my recruiting process. They really were the only coaches who would allow me to come and play the position that I wanted to. My dad's always had that connection. That was helpful in terms of getting us here to Hawaii and having that relationship with the coaching staff.
For sure. I got here. Obviously, I'm 2 years younger than Joe, sophomore. I've been fortunate enough to play on the same team as him my whole life except for 1 year. But yeah, we've been playing with each other our whole lives. And when I made my college decision, I had a decent amount of offers, which I was lucky to have. But then I remember coming to Hawaii, and then me and Joe kind of had to sit down, just talking about like the future and just what we want to happen. And I was like, fine, Joe, fine, I'll come help you over here. Nah, just kidding. No, but I came over here. I was like, I want to play like 2 more years with my brother, and then yeah, the connection here with our parents and our family is awesome. People coming up to me just like, oh, I know your dad and stuff like that, which is kind of weird because we're like thousands of miles apart.
And so that's kind of cool, you know, that they still remember that.
A couple ways it benefits us. Having played for a very long time and obviously live with each other because we're brothers. Fun fact about that is we actually have been living in the same room for our entire lives. We still have bunk beds to this day. But in our apartment, we're like this far apart in our beds, like one bedroom. Like our beds are this far apart, so we're always next to each other. Like I said, we had bunk beds, and there was a ladder to go to the bunk bed. And so what we do in our bedroom is we'd lay down the ladder, yeah, and either we get a balloon or a small volleyball, and we'd play what we call bedroom volleyball. I think my parents were definitely a little suspicious when there wasn't noise coming from our room, just absolute thudding, just craziness. So when they heard that, they knew we were just up to no good, or up to good. And we would just like bedroom volleyball, just hit it at each other, just getting nailed in the face. And I think actually that's helped our defense.
Growing up too, like everything we do, we compete against each other, or when we competed with each other against other people, like there's no chance we lose because we were so competitive. We pushed each other like in everything we did. Our dad and mom both kind of installed that just competitive, like just hating to lose mentality in us, and it's carried a long way. We literally we fought a lot when we were young, like physical fight, not just art. We would physically like go after it, and our parents would just kind of let it happen because they knew that that's just kind of how we were and how we behave. But as soon as it's over, like we just let it go and we'll move on.
I remember when we used to play together. So beach volleyball, it's a first two-man game. We'd always sometimes like we start bickering, get mad at each other, and then the opponent would always be like, "Oh, we got him." I was like, "You ain't got us." I was like, "If I'm mad, I'm taking it out on you. I'm not taking it on my brother."
No, yeah, that's...
And they'd always be like, "Oh, we got him," but then we'd always kind of like take it to them, and they're like, "We didn't have them."
I think that's a large part of why the connection is so special that we have.
Playing for Hawaii volleyball rather than playing for another previous teams like high school or club, definitely the culture is just unreal here. For example, like having like thousands of people show for the game rather than like high school, like 10 people would come on a good day, like, yes, 10 people here, let's go. Other than my mom, I guess. But yeah, the culture here, the people here are just awesome, and everyone's just so nice.
Like you said, like the support here is just absolutely ridiculous. We see all the times like people from other countries, from back in the mainland, they come over and they're like, there's no better place in the world than to play in Hawaii. Like they're serious. There's players who come over who are top in the world of their position. There's coaches and stuff that have come and visited, and they say like there's not very many, if any, better places to play than here in Hawaii at any level. We've had the family connection with on my dad's side, and we've always understood like how special Hawaii is. And being able to live 4 years here, it's just, you know, I really appreciated it before, but it's just a whole another level of appreciation that I have, and I know he does and our family does, and gratitude towards the coaching staff here, the program, and just the people of Hawaii. So yeah, I always tell people like this is definitely the best decision I've ever made in my life, and my family supports that statement as well.
Set Max Hawaii in 3. 25-15, 27-25.